Hi everyone, Justine here. So I'm taking part in Tanya from Tatty Treasure's September challenge. This is for her Facebook group, which is all about using up book pages, and particularly the ones with illustrations on. So of course you can use them as pages in your journal, but the idea behind the challenge was to really get us thinking about how else we could use these type of illustrative book pages. Especially large ones as well. That wasn't a necessary part of the challenge, but for me, I wanted to make sure I was using larger book images, because sometimes you can really struggle with how you use them. So that was what the challenge was all about. But today, we're going to focus on how I made these book page pockets. So this is a loaded pocket, which you could just have it on its own. You could send this as happy mail, you could have this as a gift with purchase, or you can of course glue this down into a journal and have a really nice decorative pocket, which uses an entire book page. And of course I've used illustrative book pages for these, and we'll make some of these together today. But this could also work with textbook pages. You just might have to do a little bit more embellishment. So this is how I've got this set up, and these tags and ephemera inside, really they're just placeholders to show you where the different tuck spots are. So we just take this out for a second. As you can see, there's a tuck spot here, 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 and here, a little one in the front. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4 tucks or pockets on it, and then of course you can use the whole thing as a pocket as well. And they look great with all of this ephemera inside, and of course they use up our large book pages, either text ones or illustrative ones, it's completely up to you. And doesn't it look fun? So I thought we would make some of these today, and they're really, really easy. So it looks more complicated than it is genuinely, so we'll make some of these today. So I thought it might be helpful to give you an idea of sizes first of all, because obviously your pocket will be a different size based on how large your book page is. You can go really mini, you can go much larger. So just to give you a sense of scale, this was the pocket I've decorated. I'm just checking you can see. So this is how it will be on a page. I might pop it in a corner, and then obviously you've got this space behind. Something like that. So this is just this is A5, so it's just A4 folded in half, which is a sort of standard for me size journal. So that's that. So this particular image came from this book, The Country Flowers of a Victorian Lady, which is this sort of size. Hopefully you can just see that in frame. And so that turned into this sort of size, which I think is great for an A5 size journal. For me, it works perfectly. Plenty of space for tags, journal cards, and little pieces of ephemera. So that came from this book, and I'm sure many of us have this book lying around. So this particular image was it was like a text image, very pretty text, of course, but it was one of those. So that came from that. I made other sizes, so I also have this size. And this came from a larger book. You can just about see, hopefully, realise I'm not slightly in frame there. You can just see the slightly different size, just like that. So this image came from this book, which is much larger. It's quite big. So if we imagine, and it's so big I don't think it's all in frame, but this is an A4 sized piece of paper. And as you can see, the book is bigger than that. They're sort of maybe 1 centimetre or 2 all the way around. So it is much bigger. This book, I'm just trying to remember what it's called. I just picked it up in a used bookstore. It's called The Time of My Life by Sherry Sutton Petit. And this one it's a travel log, and it's really beautiful. I picked it up because I really liked the illustrations. And it's got all this lovely meticulous handwriting. And it basically follows her journey across Europe, for a period of 3 or 4 months or something like that. So you get to see all the different places that she visited, and the images are just so lovely, all different types of images as well. So yes, that was a much larger book page, which gave me this larger pocket, of course. Now with this one, you'll notice that I chopped off those pointy ears. Now this is completely up to you whether you want to do that. I wanted to show you both options, just in case you don't like the look of this pointiness. You can chop it down, or you can even fold it over if you're going to be gluing the pocket down in your journal, because no one will see the back, of course. But you don't have to do that. The choice is yours, and you don't have to make that decision straight away. You can obviously do the folds and then see what you think. So that was that one, obviously much larger, larger book, larger pocket. And then the final ones were these ones, which for reference, maybe a little bit larger than this one, but not a huge amount larger. And those came from this book, The Complete Language of Flowers, which again I think probably many of us own. It's a really, really gorgeous book with lots of fussy cut images and images that would look great as journal cards. There's a lot there to play with, but what I found was there was a lot of pages that had just a lot of black on them, and I don't use black in my journals very often, so I'll just show you an example if I can find one. I don't think I tore them all out. This sort of image here, where it's basically the chapter headings of each letter, so A, B, C, D, etc. But as you can see, there's all this black background, and yet really lovely images of the flowers and plants. So I was trying to find a way to use that, so I basically went through and grabbed a bunch of the black pages to see if I could try and break up the black a little bit, and that's how these ones turned out. And as you can see, I've done folds slightly differently, so I will show you some variations, but the folding technique is pretty much still the same. And what you can see is the black is, in my opinion, it is sort of broken up a little bit with these floral images, and of course these are prone, we still need to decorate them up and turn them into a pretty loaded pocket, just like this one. So if this sounds like something you'd like to give a go, follow along and we'll make some together, we'll decorate some together. Trust me, easier than it looks. Now for this project you'll want to use rectangular paper. So obviously book pages are normally rectangular in shape, so they're just prone. You don't need to do much cutting unless you just want to cut along the edges to neaten them up from when you're tearing them from the book. I wouldn't recommend using square paper, such as scrapbook paper, because in my opinion the folds don't work too well. So this was a 6x6 piece of scrapbook paper. And as you can see, there's not much definition between these folds. It still has the same number of folds as this one, but they're not as well defined. So you can see here, on this one, you can clearly see that is two different pockets, right? On this one, there is a pocket here and there is a pocket here, but where's the third one? It is here, there is a pocket, but it's very hidden. You don't get this overlap as much with the square paper. So you can use scrapbook paper, you can use any paper you want, but just make sure it's rectangular. And again, the sizing, it doesn't matter, it just affects obviously what size your pocket will be when you're finished. But yeah, avoid squares, go for rectangles. So let's get on with the folds first of all. So I'll just pop those out of my way. So I'm going to go with this page first of all. So this one is the Country Diary, not Edith Holden, the other one. I think it's the Victorian lady version. So here is your book page. You have a rectangle, and as you can see, I've chosen this page because this index of flowers on the back isn't really much to look at, but this is stunning. So we need to do the first fold, and how your pocket looks depends on which way round you're going to do the fold. So you might want to, you might need to do a few practices first, but we'll get through this first of all. So you want to have your book page, or rectangular paper, turned to landscape. And we're going to do the first fold. Now I'm actually going to do it this way, and I'm thinking I want to turn it over So we've got the back facing us, and we're going to do the first fold. So now you don't have to use one of these gridded mats, it's just, it will make it slightly easier for following and getting like a nice amount of symmetry, but you don't have to have one of these. You can do it by eye, it really doesn't matter. And once you put up all your tags and journal cards and ephemera inside, you won't even notice if maybe a couple of your points aren't quite matching. But you'll see what I mean once we make one together. So we're going to do the first fold. So hopefully you can see this. So I'm folding this corner up just like this. So what I'm trying to achieve is I'm trying to match this point to this point. So I want them to be in line with each other, which is where these gridded lines come in handy, because I can see that they're in line with each other if I place it there. So I'm folding here up to here, and I'm just making it in line with that triangle as best as I can. Oops. And I'm going to fold it here. So you fold across the bottom. Oops. You get squeaky paper. Now if you want your folds to be really crisp, you can use your bone folder, or you can use the handle of your scissors if you don't have a bone folder. So it's just a case of running it along your crease so that you get a nice crisp edge. And that will just help your pocket to stay less bulky, it will be, you know, more flat, and it will give your folds a nice crisp edge. So that's the first fold, really simple. Okay, then we want the next fold, which will be to come not to the middle, and this is where you get a little bit of trial and error, because what we want to do is we want to tuck this edge into this edge, or the other way around, depending on what you want to see. So I'll try. It's really hard to explain actually. I thought this would be easy, but yeah, we want to tuck inside here, and we basically want to go until we can't go anymore. So I'm just tucking, and I'm hoping you can see this okay. I'm hoping I'm explaining it right. But you want to tuck it in here like this, and you just want to go until you can't go anymore. Your book pages will decide, you know, how much you can go over, and then you just want to fold, again squeaky paper, sorry, along each edge, like so. Now I've got quite thick book pages, so it is taking a little bit of pressure. And again, I'm just going to use my bone folder just to flatten those down a little bit and make my pocket nice and more flat than it was. Obviously we're not going to get completely flat, and obviously you're going to add in all of your lovely details of ephemera and everything, so it's not going to be completely flat, but we just want it to be as flat as we can, like so. Now I folded, so that's basically it. That is the first fold, and if I get I'll just use my bone folder as an example. So we've got the first pocket here, second here, and fourth here. Now every pocket is already has a bottom, but it's the one in the middle, so this one just here, which we need a bottom for it. So all we want to do is go in with our glue, and we are just going to glue this bottom shut. So essentially you've got like, you can see here, you can pull it apart like that. We just want to glue these two together. So we're going to do that. Now I am just using my Anita's tacky glue, and I'm just going to squeeze it out a little bit. I'm just going to unblock my glue a second. Okay, that's better. So yeah, we just want to run a bead of glue along those bottom edges just to seal them, and my glue has blocked up again. Here we go. God, it really is blocked today. Okay, I think I've got it now. There we go. Oops. All the way along, and then just press that down. Oops. need to run some more glue, but I think we're pretty much in. Yeah, that's fine. So there we are. I have my first pocket glued. And the great thing is that's the only gluing you need to do to make the pocket. So now we have all of the, the tuck spaces all completely sealed. That's as far as I can go in that one. Oops. As far as I can go in that one. I think that's where I'm hitting my glue now. Oops. I can go as far as I can on that one and this little one in the front. So I hope that showed how easy that is to get your folds. And obviously from here, you can go ahead and decorate as you see fit. So we'll do that in a minute. For a start, I just want to make a couple more of these so you can really get a hang of the folds. Now, what you might have noticed is my folds here are not symmetrical. And I think that was the way I folded it, but I'm all right with that. I am actually okay. For me, they would all turn out different because it depends whether you're folding along the line or not. But for me, I'm okay with this being, slightly, it's not symmetrical, it's like asymmetrical. It's, they are different. So I'm okay with that. But if that is going to bother you, then obviously you might want to adjust how you fold them, but I'm okay with that. So let's do another. So this is where I've got the black sheets, and I just want to break up the black a bit, which is where this folding technique goes in. So again, I've got my back facing me. I'm bringing the right corner up to meet this point as best as I can. Oops. And what I'm doing here is I'm just adjusting where I'm just putting this along the straightest edge that I can, this bottom piece, just in case that does affect our folds. So there we are, and again I'm meeting my 2 points as best I can. Again, if you don't have one of these gridded mats, just do it by eye. It really, really doesn't make a difference. You'll have a very decorative pocket either way, and you'll have something that you can decorate up, add all your ephemera to, and I'm sure you will absolutely love it. Right, so I'm just going to try and decide. Now, at this point, I'm trying to decide which way round to do the next folds. Now, I think this will be more decorative than the other side because I'm bringing in some of the flowers. So this is plain, this is more decorative, and I don't want to hide that. So I'm going to put the plainest side towards me. And again, I'm just letting the book pages dictate how far I can push the folds in. So I think for me that's about there. Fold each side. Oops. Again, squeaky book pages. Oops. There we go. And again, I'm going to use my bone folder just to give all my edges nice and crisp and as flat as I can to reduce bulk. And we have this one. So again, hopefully my glue isn't blocked. Just going to run a bead of glue. Yes, hopefully you can see what I'm doing. Just along the bottom, in between the two sides. Here we are. Oops. Okay. Press that down. I'm just going to lay my glue on the side so that it maybe doesn't comes down a bit quicker next time. Press those together. Okay, that's nice and glued. And again, we've got pocket here, 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 and here as well. So that's 4 pockets still. That's that one. Again, slightly, not completely symmetrical, but as you can see, because I was adjusting where I was folding along the horizontal line, they are different. But I still think they're very cool. Like, for me, it doesn't bother me that they're not symmetrical. It really doesn't, because I think either way they're going to be a lot of fun. So that's those. I have a couple more that we'll do together. So I've got this page, this comes from a botanical book that I'm sure we've all got. I just had some pages sent to me from it. So I'm just kind of trying to decide. I think I'm going to call this my back, because I quite like this foxgloves. So let's do the same again. So folding the corner, this corner, up to the point, and again just adjusting to try and meet my lines. Now this is quite a large book page, so it will probably be quite a large pocket, but that's okay. Again, these make really great Happy Mail items. So again, I need to decide what I want to hide and what I want to keep. So I said I really liked these, but they're going to be upside down. So I'm just trying to decide. Now that would be quite plain. What would this side look like? Yeah, I'm alright with that. So I'm going to call this the back. So that's the plainest side for me, because I don't want to hide those flowers on the other side. So again, I'm just going to tuck that in, just tucked in like so, and then slide it in as far as it will go, and then fold down. And this pocket has turned out different again, and again that's okay. I just think they look so beautiful. And of course, where you've got like these blank pieces, you know, there's not much going on there. They are just right for adding more decoration to, more embellishments, clusters, labels, all sorts. So you'll have a lot of fun decorating these as well, I'm sure. So again, running my, oops, putting glue everywhere, running my bead of glue down the bottom. Okay, press down, and there's our third one. So again, as you can see, they're all turning out different, and that's cool. I'm happy with that, because if you used a couple of these in one journal, it would look kind of cool that they're all different, really, wouldn't it? So that's that one. Now on the backs, just thinking about it, as I say, these can be floating pockets, they can be Happy Mail pockets, and I think you'd also be dictated to by what you don't want to lose. So on this one, for example, I wouldn't really want to lose this nice floral detail, so I'd probably just clip this into a journal if I was going to do that, or have it as a Happy Mail type item. Same with this one. On this one, I'm not so worried about losing this. I don't think it really adds a lot. So this one I would be more than happy to glue this down and add more embellishments to. Right, we'll do one more. This is with the large book that I used, just so you can see the folds are still the same, it just, obviously your pocket will be a different size with each time. So again, I don't want to lose either. This is decorative on both sides. Now this page, I could have used this in a journal as a journal page, and that would have been really pretty. Of course, I'm changing my mind now and thinking, should I leave it for that, or should I do it with this? What do we think? Do we want to use this in a journal? I think I'm going to save this for a journal page. I'm going to get another one though. I'll be back in a sec. Okay, so I have a different page from the same book. I have this large map page, but as you can see, there's not much really on the other side, so I'm not so worried about losing it, but it's still got this really nice text and handwriting on it, so you know, when we do our folds, that will still look really decorative. So yes, that's why I didn't want to use the last page, because there were pieces on both sides of the paper that I didn't want to lose, and so that's the important thing. When you're doing your folds, you are going to lose one side of the book page, so obviously go with what you don't mind losing. So you have your decorative side, and then you have your not so decorative side. So I'm going to fold this way. So again, I'm going to fold up, again trying to meet my points as best I can. This is going to be a big pocket like the first one I showed you. And oops, just lining up. And again, I don't know why I'm lining it up so much. As I say, you know, this is to make it symmetrical or more symmetrical, I guess. But it doesn't have to be. It really doesn't. Like, I think they look just as good when they're, you know, off center, in my opinion. But, you know, it's a personal preference. It's what you go with, what you think is right. Now again, what do I want to keep / lose? They got some nice trees, which I really like. Whereas on this side, I realise so yeah, I'm just going to go a bit slower. Basically, I'm just folding it over like this just to test how it could look, and it's got some really nice tree detail. On this side, what have we got? We've got some nice trees. We have got some trees, but these ones are upside down, which I'm not a huge fan of. It's not the end of the world, but I think I prefer it this way around. And we've got this nice patch of green here, which we can decorate up. So I want to go this way. So again, tucking my page in, sliding along as far as it will go, and then oops, squeaky book pages again, folding down on both sides. Oops, sorry, I just knocked my ring light, I think. So again, just going to use my bone folder to get really nice crisp folds. Again, just use your scissors at the, you know, the handle of your scissors or something like that if you don't have one of these. And that's how that one looks, and I really love it because I didn't notice before. We've got trees here, and trees here. Doesn't that look lovely? That in itself is just like really decorative. And then on the back, if it was a floating pocket, this would be just as nice because we've got the nice map image on the back there as well. And it, as you can see, again, it's not symmetrical, but I'm alright with that. And actually, neither are those. I didn't notice that. Those are not symmetrical either, but I don't think it matters. Are any of them symmetrical? No, not really. That's really interesting. I never noticed that before. But I don't mind that. Personally, I don't mind it. If you do, then maybe this wouldn't be the right sort of folding technique for you. But for me, I think they look great. So that's just my preference. Okay, so we have these, and I also have some, obviously, that I made off camera. Now, I think I'm going to decorate. I'll decorate this one with you, and we'll see how we're doing for time, and then I might do some more. But I think I'll start with this one. So I'm just going to grab some. I want some like laces and things. So just as a reminder, with this first one, this is the prototype. I added some crochet trim along each every single sort of pocket edge, just to show where the pockets were. I added this label and this butterfly fussy cut, just because I felt like this was maybe a little bit plain there. And that's all I did with that. The rest is just the book page images coming through. I did ink it though, so I will ink these, but I'll do that off camera, so you don't have to sit and watch me do that. So for inking, all I'm going to do is I'm just going to go around all of the edges, and then just highlight where each pocket is, where we've got this white. I just want to make them really obvious. So I'll do that, and then we'll come back and we'll do some decorating. Okay, so all my inking is done. Really, I've just gone around each of the edges, and I've just tried to do each of these lines here against each pocket, just really to bring them out a bit more. I know I'm probably going to be covering them with crochet and lace and things, but better to do it, and then if you don't cover it, it's not the end of the world. So that's the inking done. Now these are the three I'm going to see and attempt to decorate on camera with you together. I think that's about as much as I'll get time for. Okay, so I thought we would start with this one. This is the one with all of the black on it, which again, I can't really do much with the black, but we can brighten this up a bit. So I'm going to start with my lace and crochet trims first of all, just because I do think it really does help add a little something to those pockets, and even if you don't add any other decoration, that gives you a really, really good base. So I've got this thin crochet that I used on the my prototype pocket, and I've also got this, it's like black and gold with a bit of white, just because I thought if I'm going to be using the black, then perhaps it would tie in with that, and I'm never going to use this sort of colour on anything other than this sort of project. So, you know, I don't do black and white journals, so I thought maybe we could use it here. So I'm just going to have a look to see where. I'm just trying to decide whether I want the black and white on the white pockets, or, and I've also got to be careful with how much I've actually got as well. Okay, I think I'm going to do it with the white crochet down this edge, just because I've got more of it, and I would rather have more of the white than the black. So I'm just going to use my Beacon 3-in-1 glue. It's like Fabri-Tac, and I'm just going to run a bead of glue, oops, just along this edge, being very careful obviously not to go over the edge, because you don't want to glue your pocket shut, of course, we don't want that. And then we're going to come in with the crochet and just lay it down on top of the glue, just along that edge. I think it just finishes off the edge, you know, a bit nicer than just leaving it, you know, leaving it folded as book page. I do think it does just sort of finish it off a little bit. So I'm just going to trim off the excess, and again here, oops, and just that little bit there. Okay, and that's the first bit done. So I've got a little bit more of this white crochet, so just thinking, I think I want to follow each of the white lines with this, and then follow each of the black lines with the black. That's what I'm going to do, I think. And oops, my glue is glooping out. Bear with me. Just need to. Sorry about that. I just needed to grab a tissue for my glue. I forgot to put the lid on my glue, and of course, when I do that, it just, yeah, erupts out of it. So I'm just going to run, and I'm just going to go a little bit inside the pocket. And as you can see, my glue has gone very gloopy. So this time I'm going to put the lid on it. There we are. And then I'm just going to go slightly in. And the reason I'm doing that is just because then I'm definitely sure that it won't look like I haven't gone all the way to the edge. Because I don't, you know, it's not necessary to go all the way inside there, because you're not going to see that. And it, you know, it's a waste of the material. But you do want to make sure that you're not going to have any kind of weird gaps here where your crochet looks like you haven't gone all the way along. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so there we go, and hopefully, fingers crossed, I just have enough for inside here. Again, I don't need it to go all the way along, I just need it to be where that black line is, and I'm going to have it like that. So I'm going to go in with my glue again. My gloopy glue. Again, just going in slightly. Oops. I'm coming to the last of my glue, which is why it's gone a bit gloopy, but because how expensive this stuff can be, you know, I don't want to waste any. Okay, so going in like so. I hope my head is not in the way. Bring you up a bit. Sorry if you couldn't see that. Okay, again, we just want to not glue my pocket shut. We just want to go slightly under that lip. Not that much though. About there. And then just glue that last bit down. My glue will come out. Okay. There we go. There we So that is all of the white edges done. I really do think it just finishes it off so nicely, and it adds a layer of texture and all of that. So I definitely think it's worthwhile doing, but you don't have to. You know, it is up to you, of course. All of this is, but yeah, I do think it does add a little something. So now we're going to do the black edges. So again, just want to go slightly under that lip. Realize I'm pulling it towards me, and that's just so I can see what I'm doing. So I'm sorry if I'm going out of frame slightly, but you get the gist. So again, beaded glue, and we have gone really gloopy. Might have to get another bottle. There we go. And then I'm going to cut them in with this black. Which I realise, is there a particular way around? Don't think it matters. Okay, and just press that down. Okay, and then just trim off the excess. Put my lid on the glue so it doesn't gloop out everywhere. Okay. So we're going to have a little bit of a gap here, but you know, it really, I don't think it matters. Once you add in all your ephemera and everything, you're not even really going to see this trim that much. It's just might look a bit weird until then, but I don't think it looks that weird. I mean, I suppose I could always just put a little bit. No, I think that would look even more weird. Ignore me. Okay, and then I'm just going to do that last bit. Okay. God, my glue is so... Oh, definitely need to get another bottle before we do the next one. Note to self. So again, doesn't matter. Try not to glue anything shut, like so. Just checking I'm still in frame. There we are. I think that's about as far back as I need to go, because that's quite a... Yeah, I don't need that much actually. So we want to chop it about here. I always go a little bit over so that, you know, we're not yeah, it's better to be a little bit too much than not enough. And that's that one. Now, I did snip my book page slightly with my scissors, so I'm going to have to pop some washi tape there. That's a shame, because I didn't really want to lose this image. This was supposed to be a floating pocket, but then my other part is thinking, could we, if that is the case, could I put something along there instead of washi tape? That would look alright, wouldn't it? I might do that, and then I'm not losing it. So that was not planned. I hope it won't be one of these how not to craft sessions. Hopefully, you know, you're finding value in this, what I'm doing, and it looks like something you might want to try. Learn from my mistakes. Do as I say, not as I do. Is that the same? I think it is. Yeah. Okay. Just pop that along there. As I say, I wouldn't often use this black trim. It just came in like a vintage tin of trims, and obviously because it was vintage and everything, I didn't want to I didn't want to get rid of it. I thought I will use it for something. So again, I'm going to be very careful now not to cut my book page. There we go. Getting black fluff all over me. So yeah, we still have a slight issue there, but there might be something I can put over it, like a sentiment or something, or a label, because this is quite bare here. So we'll come back to that. We'll do the front first of all. So how are we looking? So I think that looks really cool. And I don't mind the black actually now. You know, with the gold coming in and this white, the white of the trim, I do think it has lightened up this black a little bit and taken away some of the black. You know, there's not as much there, not as much dark. So now I'm looking at this, I'm happy with most of it. I'm not going to bother with doing anything with the black pieces. I think they're all right. Maybe we could add a label or something like that, but they look fine. What's bothering me though is this side. So there's quite a bit of white here and here, so I might do some stenciling. And then this part of the plant is sort of facing the wrong way, it's like horizontal. So I think we want to cover that. And I do have this label, like a sciencey type of label or botanical label. And I have this flower, and I was playing around with it earlier, and I thought we might be able to do something like this, where we've got, because this, again, it's quite a large flower, which I don't think I would get a chance to use very often, so I wonder, something like that maybe. But then of course there's still a bit of white here, so I do think I will want to stencil. There's a little bit of white there, so I might just grab a stencil and then we'll do some of that. Alright, so that's my stenciling done. As you can see, I've just filled in wherever I could see a little bit of white, and I've done it on the back as well. I'm not sure if you can see that. Lighting's a bit. But yeah, so I just feel like yeah, it's not as white now. So now let's see how we feel about this. I quite like it. I think I'm going to go for it. Hopefully my glue hasn't actually, yeah. I'm just gonna check how I want this flag, because I don't want to get it in the way of any of the pockets, but I do like it sort of hanging over a bit, really. What do we think? Quite like that. I don't think it's in the way of the pockets. I do think it looks quite effective, so just going to glue this onto the flower so I'm getting everything in the right place. Again, there we are. Ignore my glue. My stick pin unfortunately went rusty on me, so it will go white in a minute. Unless it gets blocked. Does everyone have glue problems? Oops. I swear, no matter who I'm watching, I swear we're all having glue problems. Now, I really like this glue for how it does, but the bottle is half stiff to squeeze. Alright, there we go. I don't know why I'm going for a I'm humming theme tunes. Okay. Okay, now I've probably put way too much glue on because I realise I've gone over the edge, so I'm just going to wipe that off. And just wipe this. There we are. Yeah, I really like that. I really like that. That looks like a lot of fun. So where is my test page? So if you imagine this is your pocket, how fun does that look? I really like that. I love that, and I wouldn't normally say that where there's black and white. You know, I'm not a huge fan of that. I'm just grabbing something to show you where the tucks are. So as I say, tuck there, big one here, another here, there's one here if I haven't glued it shut. Always check you haven't glued your pocket shut. One there, and there's a nice one there, actually. That's a nice big pocket, that. Oh, I like that, I really do. Oh, this is so much fun. Okay, so that is, yeah, that's the first one decorated. Oops. And just as a reminder, here's how here's how the first one looks. This was my prototype. Like that. And actually, believe it or not, now, seeing them side by side, I really prefer the black and white one. Gosh. There we go. Let me just put those in. But yeah, as I say, once you add all your ephemera and everything, it really does come to life no matter what your book page looks like or what your decoration looks like. And of course, you don't have to do this with illustrative book pages. You could do this with textbook pages. It's the same folds. It's just that you would have, you know, slightly different decoration to do. You know, you wouldn't have like this nice colour coming through from this part of the book page or something. But no, I really like that. That was so much fun. Okay, so how are we doing for time? I think we could probably do another one. I've got these two. I like this one with the trees. So let's do that one. I think that one will be quite quick because I don't think I want to do too much to it. Alright, so I quickly looked at the time and I realised we're quickly running out of time. I don't want this to be an hour-long video, so we might have to do a part 2. But with this one, so this is the map book page. So this one I've just glued this green trim, and I've just done a little bit of stenciling just where I felt like it was a little bit sparse. And then I'm just going to add a few bits and bobs to it, which I'm just going to ink them quickly. Okay, I've just inked them. So I thought we could have this leaf poking out here somehow. I've got this Field Notes Tracy Fox label, which I thought could be cute poking out there. And I was thinking of that because of all this green and all these trees. And I was kind of thinking, because of that, it obviously made me think of nature and botanicals. But then with the map detail, you know, we've got the North Sea and little bits of map on the back of it and stuff. It kind of made me think, you know, is it maybe a marine biologist or something who's off on his, you know, trips around the world for science-y type reasons? That's kind of what I was thinking for this one. So I think that's what I'm going to go with. I still feel like perhaps there's something missing there, but equally, you know, once you've got all your ephemera in, I think it will, you know, I don't think it will be, you know, I think it will look great. So I'm just going to glue these down. And then I think that's all we've got time for today. I sound like a news crew or something. I do sound like a news crew just then. But yeah, I think that's about as much as I'm going to get done today. And then, you know, we can do the others, because I made obviously a whole bunch of these pockets, so we can decorate some up together another day. If you would like to see more, please do let me know. Otherwise, you know, I'll just do them off camera. But if you, you know, if you did like these and you want to see how I decorate up the rest of them, then yeah, please do pop me a note. And oh, getting glue everywhere again. And I'll be sure to do that with you. Where did my leaf go? Did I lose my leaf? Oh, there it is. Lost my leaf for a moment there. Okay, now this one I don't want to glue the whole way, so it will be poking up a little bit. So just glue this and pop inside my pocket. Yeah, I think that's the one there. There you go. 3 very different pockets, all from the same folding technique. I'm not going to be able to get them all in, am I? And let me just pop this glue away before it dries up. And then I'll do my usual. So this was the first one. This is how it looks with all the ephemera inside. This is how it looked. Just, so I'm chucking things everywhere. Just as is. So that's that one. This one I think is actually my favourite. I didn't think it would be with all of the black on it. You know, the white and black, the monochrome, you know, but actually I really do think this is my favourite. I love that. And then this is the last one, much bigger one, which is very green, very naturey, and yeah, I don't know what journal I would use that in, but I do a lot of botanical type stuff, so I'm sure I'll find space for it. But yeah, I think this one, crazily, unexpectedly, is actually my favourite. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed seeing that, and I hope that the folding technique, I hope it was clear enough for you, and that you know, you can go off and make these yourself. And yeah, I hope you like how I decorated them up. As I say, if you do want to see how I do the others, just as a reminder, I have got lots more to do. I've got this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. I have a whole bunch. So if you do want to see me decorate these up and show you, you know, how they look and how I did them, you know, once they're embellished, please do let me know, because I'm more than happy to make another video, make a part 2, etc. Just give me a shout. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye bye now.